Childhood by Markus Natten. So let us know about the poet first of all. Then we would understand stanza wise and line wise entire expression about childhood, what Marcus wants us to understand or what he wants to express through his poem. So Marcus Natten, Natten, Natten. Marcus Natten is a Norwegian poet known for his evocative, introspective poetry. His work often explores themes of childhood, innocence, and the passage of time, particularly in his famous poem Childhood. So, here in the first stanza, the question he is asking to himself: when did my childhood go? When did my childhood go? So, just to tell you a brief thing about this poem is that the poem reflects on the loss of childhood and the moments when it gradually faded away. The speaker questions when exactly childhood ended, contemplating various events such as outgrowing the age of 11, realizing that abstract concepts like hell and heaven aren't tangible in geography, discovering that adults do not always live up to their preached values of love, and gaining independent thought. Ultimately, the poem suggests that childhood has slipped away to a forgotten place, symbolically captured in the innocence face of a child. So, in the that is a brief understanding about the childhood expressed by Marcus Nathan. Now, let us stanza first of all, stanza wise. When did my childhood go? Was it the day I ceased to be 11? Was it the time I realized that hell and heaven could not be found in geography and therefore not be and therefore could not be? Was that the day? So in the first stanza, the poet reflects on the loss of his childhood, questioning whether it ended when they stopped being 11 years old or when they realized that the concept like hell and heaven were not part of geography and therefore could not be real. So the poetic device that he used in the first line is rhetorical, rhetorical. Okay, here the speaker, or you can say the poet, is asking the question as where his childhood was lost. So he is using the poetic device of rhetorical question used to express the speaker's confusion and introspective. That means self-examination. Then was it the day I ceased to be 11? Here the poet is referring specific age, highlighting a particular milestone in childhood. Was it the time I realized that hell and heaven? So here poetic device the poet used of symbolism, that is hell and heaven, represents abstract ideas that become disillusioning, could not be found in geography. Here, he used the poetic device of metaphor, that he compares the abstract concept of geographical location. Okay, geographical location of heaven and hell. So he used in this line, okay, of metaphor could not be found in geography. So here he used metaphor for comparing the abstract things or abstract concepts to geographical location, which is mentioned here as hell and heaven, and therefore could not be. So here, logical reason as a poetic device could be stated. Okay, here logical reason that concludes that if not in geography, they are not real. That is how the poet reveals the fact. Was that day here the speaker exclaimed, because exclamation mark is here, so we can say poetic device of exclamation he have used for emphasizing the speaker's ongoing uncertainty. Uncertainty. Moving ahead with the second, in the second stanza again is putting up the question, repeating. Okay, another poetic devices of repetition, because first line, first sentence, second in the second stanza also second, first sentence, and third stanza also first sentence, and fourth stanza also first sentence are repeated. So that also it can be understood that it is used the poetic device of repetition. Okay, so in the second stanza, let me read first. When did my childhood go? Was it the time I realized that adults were not all they seemed to be? They talked of love and preached of love, but did not act so lovingly. Was that the day? So, in the second stanza, the speaker wonders if childhood ended when they discovered that adults were not as they seemed. Despite talking and preaching about love, they did not always act lovingly, which was a disillusioning, okay, disillusioning realization. So here again he is asking a question, when did my childhood go? Again repetition he used. Okay, the speaker is putting a sense of confusion. And was it the time I realized that adults were not? So here he used the poetic device of imagery. Imagery. Okay, imagery paints a picture of disillusionment with adults. All they seemed to be. They talked of love and preached preached of love. Here the poetic device it is used of repetition, emphasizing the disparity between words and action. Okay. Then but did not act so lovingly. So here of contrast. Okay. Poetic device the poet is using here is of contrast, highlighting the difference between preached and actual behavior. Was that day again? Okay, so here again he used the poetic device of exclamation. Okay, that is important for realization. So this is the in two stanza we understand that the poet was in confusion and realizing. Okay, putting a question. Then let us move with the third stanza. When did my childhood go? Was it when I found my mind was really mine to use whichever way I chose, producing thoughts that were not those of other people, but my own and my mine alone? Was that the day? And the third stanza, the speaker again put questions or ask questions if childhood ended when they realized they had the freedom to think independently. They began to understand that their thoughts were their own, separate from those of others. So again, he is repeating. One is that repetition, poetic device. Okay. So was it I found? My mind was really mine. Here he used, we can say, the poetic device of self discovery. Okay, that represents the transition from childhood to adulthood. To use whichever way I choose. Here, the poetic device the poet use here is of autonomy. 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 That highlights the newfound independence of thought, producing thoughts that were not those of other people. So here the poetic device we can say is of individuality. Okay, the poet is emphasizing personal thoughts and identity. But my own and mine alone. Here emphasis gives the personal nature of their thoughts. He emphasized, okay, we can say emphasis, okay, that underscores the personal nature of their thoughts. So this is how he is putting the question and trying to do self examination for the right conclusion. We can also think ourselves how we are changing and are we still in the stage of childhood or we are different. So the logical reason you will get, logically the answer you will get, okay, in heart we are always eternally as a childhood. Okay, we cannot lose our childhood. Okay, but the behavior outward it is changed. Last stanza, the poet is mentioning what, let's see, where did my childhood go? I when it went to some forgotten place that's hidden in an infant's face. That's all I know. So finally, the in the third stanza, I sorry, in the fourth stanza, not third stanza, fourth stanza. Finally, the poet is concluding and speaking that what he reflects that where childhood went or gone, acknowledging that it has slipped away to an unknown and forgotten place, symbolically hidden in the innocent space of a child, newborn baby. Okay, what whoever it is taking birth. So finally, the poet is understanding or reflecting that this is the reason that our childhood has changed, our childhood has transformed to the child. Okay? Where did my childhood go? Again, we can say it is a poetic device of repetition. So it went to some forgotten place. Here, the poet is using the poetic device of imagery. Okay, it went some forgotten place. Okay, that evokes a sense of nostalgia and loss. Okay, so it is presenting the poetic device of imagery. Forgotten, some forgotten place. Okay, some forgotten place. Then that's hidden infant's face in an infant's face. Here the poet used the poetic device of symbolism. Okay, symbolism uses the image of a child's face. Okay, this and in an infant's face of a child's face to symbolize loss of childhood. That's all I know. So finally, he is putting the conclusion that provides a sense of acceptance of the mystery surrounding the of childhood. So finally, what is the model that we received from this childhood is that childhood fades as we gain awareness and independence, leaving behind a sense of lost innocence. Childhood fades as we gain awareness and independence, leaving behind a sense of lost innocence. So, this is all about the poet expression through his poem Childhood by Markus Natten. And thank you for giving your time to listen to my uh, discussion on this poem Childhood. So, as usual, I will say read and revise for better understanding and full understanding. And thank you very much. We'll meet with another poem. Till then, read and revise. Thank you.